Alright, so I got something special for you guys today, and this is a new thing I'm trying out. Basically, every Saturday morning, I want to create something that you guys can get together as a family and get creative. So, kind of along the lines of the really good Saturday morning cartoons and where everybody kind of gathered in, the kids woke up early, enjoyed them, and something along the lines of that to where I want to spend 10 to 15 minutes sharing with you guys how to kind of get started and play around with different ideas and concepts with sculpting. That way you can let go and, really test what you can do with your creativity. Now, the other reason I wanted to do this is because this will give you guys a start and a basis into kind of like an intro into sculpting. It's going to be a lot of simplistic things, and we're going to build them out really quick, and in 10-15 minutes you guys will be able to knock stuff out. And then after that, if you decide you want to continue on it and make it a little bit more detailed or more intricate, that's up to you guys. You guys can have fun with it. However, you're going to be able to complete something super quick, and it'll give you, and with completing that, it'll give you that feeling of accomplishment, and you'll try more and more difficult things later on. So to start this out, what I wanted to do for today is we're going to sculpt a little smiley face, because everybody knows how to draw a smiley face, therefore everyone knows how to sculpt a smiley face. And then we're going to get a little bit more three-dimensional and detailed with it and kind of bring it to life. And since it's something super simple, you guys aren't afraid to start, and since we're going to be adding just little bits and kind of playing with the character, you're not worried about messing it up, and you're not worried about making it perfect. Okay? For materials, I'm going to use a board, and I'm going to be using water-based clay, but again, you guys can use oil-based if you have it, modeling clay, or super sculpty if you want to bake it. With water-based, it'll dry out on its own. It's still going to be somewhat fragile though, so just be aware of that. The other great idea is pulling out some Play-Doh to do this with, because that's a great medium to just pull it out the bucket, play with it, have fun, and see what comes out, and then you can smush it up, put it back in the bucket, and do it all again tomorrow. Alright? So, I'm going to zoom in, we're going to get started, and we're going to see what we can create. Alright, so here it goes. We're going to go ahead and kind of flatten out a piece and just kind of put it on the board. The other thing I didn't mention is, if you don't want to use a board or you don't have one, you can always use just a paper plate, or, if you're working on a craft table, that'll do good too. Just any kind of surface that you don't mind getting a little bit dirty. But, there we go. We've already got the circle. Give your little smiley face a couple eyes. Try to make a mouth that looks good and not too creepy. And not normal. That's not really a normal smiley face, but I'm going to go with that's my smiley face, because a lot of my stuff turned out to be a little creepy anyway. But look at that. And already we have sculpted something. Therefore, there are no excuses to say that you can't do it. But let's say we want to have some more fun and keep going. We're going to do a couple little worms of clay. A little bit bigger than that. A bit thicker. And we're going to add in some brows. If you want to take it up a notch, and you can sculpt your favorite emoji, do something fun like that as well. It'll be a super simple character. And all the kids out there and everybody literally knows what all the emojis are, a lot more than I do. But we're starting with this, and I'm going to add a little bit of clay here also. I'm not going to actually give him a nose, but I am going to add a little bump there to give it a little bit of three-dimensionality. Then we're going to add in some cheekbones. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go with the little worms of clay again, and because he's smiling, I'm going to put him up here like this. So basically, we're just going to lay him right there. And and we're just going to kind of smooth them into the rest of the clay that's there. Make down a little bit more. Have it kind of rise out a little bit more. And because he's smiling, I'm actually going to dig in a little bit at both sides. Just kind of give that line to where when your lips pull in, they kind of go under your cheeks. So just kind of have that line there that kind of gives it a fold or a wrinkle. Still filling in this front face area a little bit. Look at that. You can even go with a Ninja Turtle towards this way. But I'm not going to do that. I'm going to add another worm of clay, just making its bottom lip stick out just a little bit. Play that right there. And look at what you got. Add a little bit more. Do kind of like little spikes, and I'll give him a little bit of a mohawk up here. So the thing that's going to be fun about this is that, as you can see, we just started out with a smiley face. And you're already learning about different ways to kind of add clay, where to add it, the different features, some of the human anatomy. But the best thing about it is the fact that because I told you we're going to do a smiley face, you didn't run the other way. And you didn't say, I can't do that. However, if I told you we were going to do a portrait, there's a lot more resistance. Or we're going to do a human head, there's a lot more resistance. You're going to be like, that's a little bit complicated. I don't know if I can do that. But because we're having fun with such a simple, we're starting out with such a simple design and just kind of adding to it, all these little pieces are just going to add up, and you'll learn a lot more over time. See, and now we're just going to keep adding, and you guys can go and make your own character. Make this however you like. Adding ears, you can add a lot of character to a piece. Have them up, have them flipped over, down, up, and listening. Check out a dog's ears when they're moving around or when they're listening to something, and it can really bring something you're doing to life. You know what? You take this, and we're going to give this one kind of angry eye, or a little bit more of an angry eye. And you know what? I'm going to do him a pirate. We give this guy an eye patch, a little bit bigger. Give him a little eye patch there, and do some worms of clay again. Have the strap kind of go from here to there, and just chop that off. And same thing on the bottom half. That way his eye patch actually stays on there. You know what? We're going to scrap this. No more mohawk for him. And I'm going to give a flat piece. We're going to kind of chop it at the bottom so it's flat. Wrap this around his head. It's like one of those bandanas. Or, you know what? Instead of a bandana, let's go for like an actual pirate's hat. Instead of just a bandana. And we'll do one of these. I have no idea what it's actually called. I guess I'm just going to say it's a pirate's hat. One of those that looks like a triangle. Almost like the one that Jack Sparrow has in the Pirates of the Caribbean. We're going to go with something like that. Just because that's what I'm thinking about now. That's what came to mind. Add a little bit here. I want to say it's kind of a flat hat, like this part goes over his head and this comes down but flips up. So I don't think there's anything extra in the middle, like a top hat or anything, that actually goes up. So we're going to leave it like that. And just give him a little bit of goatee. It'll look a little weird. And there you go. You know what? Since I gave him an eye patch, I guess I'll give his other eye. I'll actually put his other eye in there. Shouldn't take out both eyes, right? So, little ball of clay, and I'm going to do small worms of clay and kind of flatten them just a little bit, just so I can do his eyebrow, his eyelids. And at the other end, chop it off. And do the same exact thing for the bottom. And chop it off. Kind of just blend them in a little bit. And there you have it. All in a quick amount of time. And what you can do is you can continue to take stuff off and add stuff and change it around and have fun. You're not working on something that you want to keep, and although you can keep it if you like, but you're working just to enjoy yourself and have fun, and no pressure with finishing. So, as you can see, there is your little pirate character. All started out with a little smiley face. If you're using water-based clay and you did it like this and you decide you want to keep it, just make sure that all the clay is kind of pressed together and as seamless as you can make it. That way it actually stick together everywhere. It'll start to dry out, and when it gets to a little bit harder than this, you can actually just you can either kind of wiggle it and it'll come off, or use a scraper and then just let it dry completely. And actually, if you just let it dry completely on the board, it should shrink just a little bit and pop off. But that's what we got. Alright, so I hope you guys have enjoyed this. And what I'm going to try to do is in the future Saturday mornings to expand a little bit more. I'm going to do some animals, some other type of characters, and just kind of see what we can do. But they're all going to be based around this, to where you can do it with your kids, or you can do it and it'll be geared towards people who are just starting out with sculpting, to people who've been sculpting for a little while, and just getting you guys to start with super simple ideas, but yet I still want to be able to teach you guys to actually build upon that. And after you keep doing these over and over again, you're going to start getting better. But because of the fact that I'm starting with something super simple, like a smiley face, there's nobody that's going to come up and say I can't draw a smiley face. And then once you get started and you start learning just little bits here and little bits there, it starts piling up. So hopefully you guys have enjoyed this. Let me know what you think, and I will see you guys very soon. Thank you for watching.